Hey, hi everybody. This is Katie Quintana. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just going to do a quick overview of what we are working on this week at home. And we are working on anger management and self-control. So I'm going to kind of talk to you a little bit about what we're going to do throughout the week. This is definitely a biblical approach to dealing with anger. So there's going to be a lot of memory work on verses and stuff like that. So if you're interested, stay tuned. All right, so our family has kind of got into this vicious cycle where once one of us gets angry, it kind of amps everybody else up and we're all just on edge then. And it's constantly like, as soon as someone starts yelling, everybody else is yelling. And it's like so frustrating. And I'm a part of it, my husband's a part of it, all of the kids are a part of it, and it's enough. And so we are spending the entire week focusing on anger management as a family. We're going to be memorizing verses together. So one of my things is I'm going to be writing verses on the mirror. We're going to be having note cards to take with us places when we're waiting or practice in the car. We're going to have it in our dry erase board at school for practicing. Luckily, Awanas doesn't start for another week, so instead of doing Awana verses, we're going to be doing these verses on anger and self-control. So some of the different ones that we're going to be working on are Proverbs 14:29, Proverbs 23:7, Proverbs 16:32, Proverbs 19:11. Then we're going to do Ephesians 4:29 and 30, Proverbs 15:1, and Proverbs 15:18. If you need help, Proverbs is a good place to go when you're dealing with anger and making wise choices. So keep that in mind. So yeah, we're going to be doing a number of these. We're actually picking which ones we want to memorize as a family, which ones we think are going to be more helpful, because I want the kids to have their input of what they think is going to be the most helpful for them. We are going to be doing a lot of object lessons. So some of them are things like I am going to be doing a volcano with the kids, and we're going to talk about adding in, like as we added the baking soda, that's our anger if we kept leaving it and not dealing with it, and then it's going to explode. We're going to do the ones like the toothpaste and the crumpled paper, like you can squeeze it all out, your bad feelings, your bad reaction. If you let them out, you can apologize for them, but the toothpaste can never go back in the tube. So we're going to be doing some of those, so hopefully I'll get some videos and I'll do another video showing kind of a compilation of the object lessons we do. We're also going to be doing a lot of like learning how to cool down, how to calm down. So we're going to do a lot of ice play and ice painting, and just while we're doing those things, we're going to be talking about different things we can do to calm down before we reach that point of anger. And throughout it, we're obviously going to be always talking about the Bible verses and what God says about anger and our unrighteous anger versus his righteous anger. We're also going to do some fun things like probably like the Mentos and Coke type thing, or shaking up the sodas and having them explode. Just different things to really help them visualize their anger and talk about how it feels when you start feeling that anger, like you start clenching and you start feeling hot. And so we are really going to discuss that a lot. We're going to be working on it. We're going to be learning how to pray about some things. Definitely just doing a whole lot of different things. So like I said, a lot of this is my anger too, and me not being able to have my own self-control. The verse Proverbs 15:1, a gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. That's what I've been doing. Man, it's so hard. Like, I am not answering my kids gently, especially when they're already losing it or about to lose it. I am just coming back at them with harsh words, which is stirring up their anger even more. And then it's just a cycle, because then their angry words make me angry. And yes, like I am failing so much right now. So I am going to talk about just a few of the things that I am really going to try to work on this week, what I'm going to work on to try to control the situation, to try to calm it. So like Proverbs 15:18 says, a hot-tempered person stirs up conflict, but the one who is patient calms a quarrel. So that is my job. I am supposed to be calming the quarrels. I am not supposed to be the hot-tempered mama that is making the conflicts worse. So these are some of the specific things that I am going to really try to work on this week that I think are going to help. Number one is I'm going to try to always get down on their level, eye to eye, while I'm explaining things or giving instructions. because I don't know how much is disobedience versus just not listening. Like if I'm hollering directions from another room, I don't know if they're actually listening. And so then I'm frustrated because they're not listening, but maybe they really didn't hear it, or maybe my 3-year-old or 6-year-old didn't really understand what I'm asking them to do. So I am going to work on eye-to-eye describing what I'm expecting so they know the expectations, trying to have them repeat it back to me so that I know that they have understood. So that way, if there is disobedience, we can deal with it as disobedience, not as just a lack of understanding of what was expected of them. I'm going to start trying to use a timer for things. So my oldest daughter has some problems with time and time management and understanding that. And of course, a 3-year-old doesn't really understand time very well. My 6-year-old does fairly good with time and what's expected of him in a time frame. But we're going to start trying to use a timer. And it's like, okay, this is the amount of time you have to finish this task. Or this is, like, even as a game for my 3-year-old, like, let's see how much we can get done before the bell goes off, or things like that. So we're going to try to use a timer in a few different ways to see what works for which kid and at which tasks. I am going to be trying harder to have one-on-one time with each kid each day, doing something they actually enjoy. Like, a lot of times I can do something one-on-one with them, like I make time to sit and listen to Zekiah read aloud to me every day by himself, but it's not something he enjoys. It's schoolwork, you know? Like, I'll work with Grace one-on-one with school a lot, but it's not something specifically that she's enjoying. So we need something that they really enjoy. So like, if Nikolai wants to build Lego animals, I will try to find 5 to 10 minutes at least of just uninterrupted, try to have the baby distracted even, and just spend a few minutes actually playing one-on-one with him, interacting, not just sitting there next to him. Because I'm kind of bad about that, where I sit with them, so I'm playing with them, and I will talk every once in a while, but I'm really doing something on my phone, or I'm making a list of something else, or I'm like, you know, planning meals or doing grocery lists or whatever. But I'm just like holding the toy, acting like I'm playing. So I'm going to try to be really better about actually engaging in something they're interested in for 5 to 10 minutes every day. I'm going to try. I'm so bad at this. Like, praising them for all of their good deeds and behaviors and traits that I do see. I'm so likely to jump on top of them as soon as I see disobedience, because I'm like, oh, I need to train that, and they're not listening, and that's not okay for them to do that. But I'm missing all the opportunities to praise them, and that really needs to change, because it's hard on them, you know, and then it's hard on our relationship, because then I'm always just angry at them or upset that they're disobedient instead of, you know, being grateful for the amazing person God made them to be. So, baby brought a book. You want to read a book, baby? Yeah. So, we are going to be working on that. Okay, then I'm going to obviously be memorizing some Bible verses with them, and really trying to remind myself when I start getting frustrated, repeating the verses back to me, stopping, waiting, like probably stopping and walking away to a different room, going over these verses, praying these verses, just asking God to really transform this in me, to really just help me, because I can't do it. You know, it's the Holy Spirit in me that's going to help transform me in this way and help give me that patience and that calm that I need in these situations. So I'm sure there will be a lot of walking away, deep breaths, and prayer. So, baby, did you break? She broke the book. Oh well, it happens. You know, it happened. Yeah. Who's that? Hi. Say hi. Are you on camera? Who's that pretty baby? Yeah. Hi. Is that Mama and Rebecca? Yeah, you're so cute. You don't look anything like your mama, do you? You're so silly. Okay. So those are the main things that I'm going to really try to be focused on, intentionally working with the kids, making sure I'm giving them good explanations, instructions that they're understanding. We're going to try to start working with a timer and a lot of prayer and Bible memorization. And the other thing I didn't put on the list is I'm asking a couple other ladies, a couple older women at my church to check in and hold me accountable for this. definitely trying to have some accountability, and we always need the wisdom of the older women that, you know, they've raised kids, they've been through that, and so they have some knowledge of how hard it is and what maybe they've done that can help. So I am going to be asking a couple women I trust at church that I know will be good prayer warriors and will actually hold me accountable. So please list anything in the comments that you have done that has really helped work on your own anger, or just anger in your household in general, or with your children. So if there's specific games or things that really helped your kids understand anger and be able to express it better. My kids are 10, 6, 3, and 1. So especially for those age ranges, if you have anything, I'd love any suggestion you have. Anything that you specifically did to calm your words and learn how to stop yelling and giving harsh answers or just a harsh tone. I mean, I do yell way more than I need to, because I don't need to yell at all, and I yell. But a lot of times it's just a harsh tone where it's just like I'm irritated with them, and I really would love a way to stop that and be cognizant of it. And I would love if you guys are praying for our family as we went through this. If you're having the same issue, then hopefully you'll learn something as we go through this, and maybe I'll give you some good helpful tips and advice that as we go through it. And hopefully you can share great advice and tips with me. So if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the little bell for notifications when we have new videos. I do a lot of homemaking, homeschooling, Christian parenting type videos. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely keep coming back. So thank you.